You know, the saying goes, there's 100 different ways to skin a cat. It's not a very humane saying, but you know, that's the saying. This is one of them ones. What is happening, people? It's your boy Act Beats back again. We're going to get into this one real quick. We've got another juicy UK drill 808 slides video. This time we're in Ableton 11, and I just want to show you what my process is now. I think I've found the perfect alternative to the processing used in FL Studio and how they get their 808s to sound in FL Studio in the UK drill genre and sound. I'm going to show you what to do to get that. First of all, you want to head to the link in the description for Polyverse Wider. That's an infected mushroom plugin, Wider, and that's what's going to help assist in getting this sound. And I'm just going to talk you through getting the sound and then how we do the slides quickly. So first of all, you can still do the slides the way that we did it in the first video using automation. This is the more traditional way of using pitch bend slide notes in Ableton anyway, and I like to use either process really. It depends how much I want to get into the intricacies of how I want the note to slide. So let's have a look at what's going on with the 808. So this is the track we're working on. So as you can hear, the 808 slides and 808 sounds sound very, very close, pretty damn near close to how the 808 processing in FL Studio sounds. And this is how we get there. So let's have a look. So first what you want to do is you've got your 808 sound. This is 808 from the Drill Essentials pack that I dropped on my site. The link to that is in the description if you want to get to it. But this is it sounding without all of the processing. I'll put it on. Right, I'll show you what's going on. So the first thing you want to do, you want to grab your utility, make sure you've got it in mono, so all of your bass information is in the middle. Then you want to grab your saturator, stick soft clip on, put it on soft sine, and what that's going to do is that's just going to slightly drive it into the clipper and give it a tiny bit of distortion. Then you want to grab your EQ8, and what we're going to do is you're generally going to be following the same overall curve shape of what's going on here. So first of all, we've got a high pass filter on set to 30 by standard. That's getting rid of all the rumble and the bass information that we don't want. Then on the second band, we're boosting around the 60 to 70 hertz frequency range to get a lot of sub in there. We want to make up a lot of sub because what we're going to do next is we're going to scoop out the typical bass information around about 120 to 200. Depending on what it sounds like for you and what sample you're using. And then in the next band, what you're going to do is you're then going to drive it around the 200 to 300 mark to bring out the higher pitch frequencies and grittiness of the 808 range. Then you want to grab your wider. What this is going to do, this is going to push your information out from bang in the middle, and it's going to fill up that mono information as wide as it possibly can. Obviously we've set it to mono with the utility plugin, so it isn't really going specifically wider in the stereo field, so to speak, but it's filling out the mono information as much as it possibly can when you dial this up. So if you take it from 0, you want to dial it up to around about somewhere between 20 and 40, 60, depending on how much of the effect you want. And then the last step is to grab a flanger. I'm using the Waves Meta flanger, but any flanger will do. The idea is to turn the modulation of your flanger off so it isn't moving side to side. Then you want to put the feedback on about 50%, and then you want to just dial up the mix until it starts to affect and give you that little bit of a flanged kind of metallic doubling of the signal sound. It doesn't have to be drastic. I've got mine on 20%. You might have yours on 10%. You might have it on a little bit more, like 30%. But we certainly don't want to put a lot of that effect on it. But that's what's going to bring out that really high pitched in that wah, 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 wah sound, right? That you can hear. Big up the sound effects. This is what we've got with it all on. Let's have a look at it. Let's play it from here. There you go. Very clear, very obvious, and sounding very, very drilly. Now let's have a look at what we're doing with the 808 slides themselves. So here's the slide part. Now where we used the automation before to draw our notes up and down wherever we was sliding them up and down an octave each time, because we're using the piano roll and the glide notes more traditionally, we don't have to put the note originally where we want it to slide up from each octave. I've got the notes set at the preceding note, and then I've drawn in the notes that I want the slides to slide up to. What we do, make sure that you go to your simpler or sampler, make sure you've got glide selected, stick the time on somewhere between 90 and 100. 110 is good. And then on your slide notes, what you want to do is you're going to take the front end of them, you're going to shorten them by as much as you want the note value to slide up by. So what I mean by this, like this, it's not going to slide at all because you've got two notes hitting at the same time and you can't play two voices at the same time. That's how we've got it set. Make sure when you go to your simpler or sampler, you've got it set to one voice. So it's like a polysynth. That way you're not going to get two notes playing at the same time, sounding disgusting. What we're then doing is we're selecting the notes that we've drawn in. So let's say we've just drawn these in. And then we're going to shorten them. And what we're saying by shortening them by this much is we want this bottom note to play over this much time whilst it slides up to that note. So we want it to go wah. Why am I doing these mad noises? Effectively, all you're doing is you're basically saying from this distance to this distance, that is where the note is going to slide up. If you make it shorter, you're going to get a quicker slide. If you make it longer, you're going to get a longer slide. Now this grid is set to 64th notes on the beat. So here's our beat, the fourth beat of this bar, and we're separated into 16 here, 16 here, 16 here, and 16 here. That's 64th notes. So what we're saying is over that 64th note is how long we're going to slide it up. So we're going to slide it up by a 64th note, hit this note, and play it for the duration of that. 30 seconds sound good as well. Just depends what kind of vibe you're going for. One last thing I wanted to have a look at is the new slide mode and note slides in Ableton 11 and how you can go ahead and use that to do your glides as well. So you've drawn your part in, you know you want to slide these four and you're going to experiment where you want to slide them up to. This is what you would do. Select the slide mode here on automation. Select the note you want. Let's zoom in a bit. Now remember I said about these 64th notes, so I would select pinpoint 64th note here, pinpoint 64th note here, drag it up to the note I want to slide to. Same again for this one. Obviously I know where I'm sliding because I've got the notes drawn out in ghost mode where we've just silenced them, so that makes it easier. But you could just experiment with where you want to send these slides to. And this is how that would sound. So now these four notes are going to slide up to these notes over this amount of length of time. I think that the slides are too quick, so I would just take them back a bit in this mode so it sounds a little bit more like it did doing it the other way. You know the saying goes, there's 100 different ways to skin a cat. It's not a very humane saying, but you know, that's the saying. This is one of them ones. There's a lot of different ways to do this. This is the new way that they've put in with this new slide mode, and it is pretty sweet to be fair, but I'm happy to show you both ways. So this is what that would sound like now. Now where this mode is like the last mode and doing it with automation, which is pretty cool, is if you hold the Alt key, you can actually bend the curve of the slide. Now if I wanted to get really intricate with my slides, I would definitely use this mode and come in and do this. And this is just going to give it more of a slope up to it, more of a whoop, saying come in and then bend up in this slope up to it. So it's going to be more of a wah 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 wah. So I guess it just depends what kind of workflow you want to work with and what's quickest for you. Like I say, I'll probably end up doing it this way a lot more as well as I get into more intricate bends and slides. But certainly for the most part, I would definitely use all three methods, either using just pure automation and drawing in these curves, and using the full 12 semitones octave method that I showed in the first video that I did the 808 slides, or the method that I just showed you with the more traditional 2-note glide steps, or this mode with the new slide mode that they've got. The new slide mode's pretty dope, man. So I'll do another video on that where I'm doing exclusively with the new slide mode. But this is definitely a great way to get your 808s sounding the way they should for the UK drill genre. Let's go back and turn on the glide mode here, and then this is where you're getting the best of both worlds. So on these notes, it's obviously sliding with the slide mode that we've used, and with these notes it's sliding with the traditional two-note slides that we've done. So good way to go in and chop it up both ways. Let's play the track out. I hope it was useful. Leave some questions, likes, comments, subscribes, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.